Hi everyone and welcome to EngLab Pro. I'm Mo. We are going to start a new series to teach grammar. It is designed for B1 and B2 levels. If you want it on the IELTS scale, I should say this is good for people who need to get 5 to 6.5 in the IELTS exam. I hope that you enjoy this series and learn what you really need for your everyday language needs. We are going to cover all the major grammar points by starting from tenses and then moving on to other topics such as modal verbs, adjective clauses, noun clauses, and conditional sentences. However, I'm not going to cover advanced issues. Those will be in another series that will come soon. We are going to start with simple present and present continuous, and then we will talk about the differences. Let's begin. Let's start with simple present. At first, we're going through its form. I mean, how we make sentences in simple present. First, the affirmative form. I mean, the positive form. We have the subject and then we have the verb in the sentence. I work. I is the subject and work is the verb. You work. You is the subject and work is the verb. You see? For he, she, it, remember that we need s or es that is added to the end of the verb. So we say he works. We never say he worked. That's wrong. She works, it works, we work, you work, they work. These are the plural forms. The negative form is a little bit strange. We have to add don't or doesn't to the verb. So I don't work, you don't work, but for he and she and it, we use doesn't. But remember, when we have doesn't, there is no s or es at the end. We don't work, you don't work, they don't work. These are the plural forms. So just remember, for the third person singular, we use doesn't and no s in the negative form. And the question form is like this. We have do or does at the beginning of the sentence, and then we have the rest of the sentence with no s. So do I work, do you work, does he work, does she work, does it work for the singular, and do we work, do you work, and do they work. These are the plural forms. Well, there are two exceptions. The first one is the verb to be. I mean, am, is, and are. You can see the way that we conjugate it here. I am happy, I am not happy. And the question is, am I happy? You are not happy. You are not happy. Are you happy? He, she, it is happy, is not happy, or is he, or is she, or is it happy? That's the way that you make the questions. The next verb is have. Have is completely regular except for third person singular. We say he, she, it has, and the negative doesn't have. For example, in this example, he doesn't have a car. And when you want to make a question, you say, does he have a car? So the point is that we use has. We don't use haves. This does not exist in English. You should be careful with it. Why do we use simple present? I mean, in what situations do we need to use simple present? Here I'm going to explain 6 situations. Let's go through them one by one. The first one is routine and repetitive actions. I mean regular actions that somebody does. Like John wakes up at 6 every morning, or normally I eat lunch at 12:30. The next one is facts. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. England is an island in the west of Europe. You see, these are the things that everybody knows. Next one is possession, when somebody owns something. Like she has a brand new car, that cup belongs to Jane. I mean, for possession, for ownership, we use simple present. Next one is the verbs that show sense perception, like smell, taste, see, touch, hear, and feel. Like that coffee tastes bitter, there is no sugar in it, or there is no milk in it. The food smells delicious. The fifth one is expressing opinion, when you talk about what you think about somebody or something. I think Novak Djokovic is the best tennis player in the world, or that lady bakes the best cakes in the town. It means that this is my opinion. I believe that this is happening. I mean, she makes the best cakes in the town. And the last one is expressing emotions, like I hate bitter coffee, I enjoy playing chess in my free time. I mean, with the verbs that show emotions. Love, hate, enjoy. These are the verbs that normally go with simple present. There are some words that are normally used with simple present. The first series are adverbs of frequency. Here we have 6 of them that are more common than the others. They are never, rarely, sometimes, often, usually, and always. As you go up this ladder, the frequency of happening also increases. For example, when you say, I never do something, you mean that in 0% of the times you do it. Or when you say, I usually do it, you mean that maybe you do it around 70 or 80% of the times. And by always, you mean 100% of the times. Well, they are used before the main verb, but after to be. Let's take a look at some examples. He always brushes his teeth before going to bed. Here the verb is brush, so we use always before the verb, but we mentioned after the verb to be. They never argue with each other in front of the kids. Again, the verb is argue, is not a to be, so we use never before that. Or I am often in bed by 11 o'clock. Here the verb is am, is a to be, so we use often after that. So again, I repeat it. We use adverbs of frequency before the main verb. The only exception is that we use it after the verb to be. The other expressions that are commonly used with simple present are the expressions of frequency. They are once a day, once a week, once a month, once a year, twice a day, twice a week, twice a month, or twice a year, 3 times a day, and then 4 times, and then it goes on. They are mostly used with simple present, and they are used at the end of the sentences. Remember that. Let's look at some examples. John goes on business trips twice a month. You see, twice a month is an expression of frequency, and it is at the end of the sentence. Or he smokes twice a day, once after lunch and once before going to bed. Twice a day. He smokes twice a day. You see, this is another expression of frequency. Let's do an exercise together. There are some words here that are not in the right order. Put them in the correct arrangement and make full sentences. Let's look at the first one. Goes, university, 3 days a week, John, and 2. Remember that. Pause the video right now. Try to answer it yourself. Try to put them in the right order. And then, again, play the video and see if your answer is correct. Well, the answer is John goes to university 3 days a week. John is the subject, goes is the verb, to university 3 days a week. 3 days a week is one of those expressions that we learned, expressions of time that goes to the end of the sentence. The next one is Jenny tennis usually plays on the weekend. Well, the answer is Jenny usually plays tennis on the weekend. Remember that usually is one of the adverbs of frequency that goes before the verb. 3. Books. Lisa every night reads for 2 hours. Well, the answer is Lisa reads books for 2 hours every night. And the last one, I and often watch TV, my wife at night. Well, the answer is my wife and I often watch TV at night. Remember, we always say my wife and I. We never say I and my wife. I goes to the end. And often is one of those adverbs of frequency, so it goes before the main verb watch. And at night is the adverb of time that goes to the end of the sentence. Now let's go to present continuous and see its form. Well, for the affirmative form, for the positive form, we have subject plus to be. By to be, we mean am, is, or are, plus verb plus ing. So I am working, you are working, he is working, she is working, and the rest. For the negative, we just use a not after to be. I am not working, you are not working, he is not working, she is not working, it is not working. And for the plural, we say we are not working, you are not working, and they are not working. And for the question, we simply use the to be at the beginning of the sentence. So am I, are you, is he working, is she working, is it working, are we working, and the rest. Now let's take a look at some of the uses of present continuous. Well, the first one is something that is happening at the moment of speaking. I mean, for example, you are listening to me now and trying to learn English grammar. You are listening to me now means right now you're doing it, and trying means you are. You can say also are trying, or you can say you are trying. All of them are possible. Trying to learn English grammar. Next one, I can see the man on the street who is riding his bike means right now he is doing that action. The second one is something that is happening temporarily, but not necessarily at the time of speaking. Temporarily means just for a short time and not forever. So something that is happening temporarily means for a short time, for a limited period of time, and not for all the time. These days I'm working on a new project. That is why I have no time, but it is going to finish soon. These days I am working means it is temporary. So this is done temporarily for a short time. I am working on a project means maybe not necessarily at the time of speaking, but these days this is an action that is happening for a limited period of time. Or I'm not getting enough sleep and I think it's because of drinking too much coffee. It means these days this is happening for me. Remember that this drinking has ing because of is a preposition, so we have used an ing form after that. But I am not getting enough sleep. It means temporarily, these days I'm not getting enough sleep. And the third use is for future plans and arrangements. I am meeting Jane tonight. You say tonight is a future time. It's still not night. For example, it's in the morning and then says I am meeting Jane. We are going to that fancy Italian restaurant which is just opened in our neighborhood. We are going to that instead of saying we are going to go. Of course, normally we don't say we are going to go. We say we are going. This is the most common one when we are talking about the future, which has just opened in the neighborhood. And then there is this point which has just opened. You can also say which just opened, but that becomes a little bit spoken language. Which has just opened is more formal and more polite to say. Verbs in general are divided into two groups of action verbs and non-action or state verbs. As the name suggests, action verbs refer to the things that you do or you can do, and it lasts for a duration of time. But non-action verbs are the verbs that cannot have a duration of happening. That's why they are called non-action verbs or state verbs. So let's take a look at some examples of action and non-action verbs. For example, for action verbs, we can say play, watch, speak, and run. You can see they can have a duration of happening. While non-action verbs or state verbs do not have this. For example, have, believe, know, or seem. These are the verbs that cannot happen for a duration of time. You see, the word happen does not apply to them. So what is the use? Action verbs can often be used in continuous form. It means we have both options, continuous or simple. For example, you can say she is running. But for non-action verbs, you cannot use present continuous. I mean, these verbs are not used in present continuous form. For example, we don't say she is knowing French. We always say she knows French. You know, knowing does not happen over a period of time. There's no happening over there. Now let's do an exercise. Choose the correct verb in brackets. You have to choose between simple present and present continuous. You can pause the video on this slide and then try to answer all of them and then check it with me to see if you have answered them correctly or not, or you can do them one by one with me. Let's go. The first one, I usually tea in the morning, drink or am drinking. Well, the answer is I drink. Why? Because it says usually. It means it's a regular repetitive action. This is a routine. So simple present. She, very happy right now. The answer is. Although it says is right now, it is one of, is one of the non-action or state verbs. So no continuous form. The third one, he, a new job at the moment. Well, the answer is looking for. Look for means search. Is looking for it. Why? Because it says at the moment. And when it says at the moment, it means that this is temporary. It is not for all the time. 4. We, your job. Well, the word is understand, because understand is one of the non-action verbs. My brother to loud music every day. Be careful about every day. So it means listen. My brother listens to music. Why S? Because my brother is he. They, the answer to this question. The answer is no. No is one of the non-action verbs, so it is never used in the continuous form. I, the cake, it smells great. So I am tasting. Why do we say I am tasting? Because here is the continuous form. This is not in the non-action meaning. He very tired these days. These days, so it is temporary, so is feeling. 4. We lunch at the moment. It says at the moment, so it's temporary, so we are having. Remember, here have does not mean to own something. Here have means eat, and when it means eat, it means it is an action verb, so it can be used in the continuous form. And since it says at the moment means right now, so are having is the answer. And she, her phone now. Now, so is using. It is something that is happening right now, so present continuous. I hope that you've answered all of them correctly. I know that the exercises here are not enough, so maybe it's a good idea if you go online, find some other websites to do some exercises, or buy a grammar book and try to do the exercises there as well. I'm trying to make more videos for exercises, and you can use them in the future. I hope so. So hope to see you again, and bye.